Everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat here at David. We wish all our listeners around the world that they should have a happy Yisroel Chag today for them. All right. We did our Yisroel Chag yesterday.
What's Yisroel Chag?
The day after the holiday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I hope everyone enjoyed their Yom Tiv and Baruch Hashem. We finished learning the Inyanim and we tied everything together. Yesterday, Baruch Hashem, from starting with Rosh Hashanah all the way through Shmini Atzeres, it was amazing, Baruch Hashem. Only Reb Nosson could do it like that. And the whole theme was getting us to Eretz Yisroel. The beauty of Eretz Yisroel. That's it. Unbelievable. Okay, so today we're going to continue with Siyata Deshmaya. Of course, we're learning Likutey, Halachos, Hilchos, Devarim, Hanehagim, Besuda. So things that are pertaining to the meal. Okay, and we are in Halacha Dalid, and today we're up to Yud Zayin for those following along inside. Okay, so that's 4:17. Today we're going to talk about the Kedusha of Achila. Right, when you eat, you're supposed to eat with a level of sanctity. Okay, we're going to discuss that now. Oh, here we go. Al pi HaTorah now, Mevaya Inyan Suda. Birchas HaMoitzi Shechashuva Mikol HaBrochos V'Kodemes L'Chulan U'Poiteres Kol HaDvoram HaBoyim B'Soich HaSuda Machmas HaSuda. Okay, so let's look, what does this mean? So the Bracha of HaMoitzi is very, very choshev, right? Shulchan Aruch says this. You can find this in Shulchan Aruch in Siman Kuf Ayin Zayin, right? Sif Aleph. Shulchan Aruch. These are the words of Shulchan Aruch. That the bracha of Hamoitzi is so choshev. It's such an important, such a significant bracha that anything you'll eat during the meal will be covered by the bracha of Hamoitzi, right? We discussed this before, right? We're going to take a different angle on it now. So we said so many reasons, right? Because the bracha of Hamoitzi has 10 different words in it, right? There are 10 words in the bracha of Hamoitzi, right? We have 10 fingers. There are 10 mitzvahs pertaining to making bread, right? All these different ideas, right? But Shulchan Aruch says it's a very, very important bracha. It's a very significant bracha. Okay. And we learned some reasons why. Now we're going to see something else. Because the main holiness of eating, the sanctity of eating, is drawn from Eretz Yisroel. How do you like that? Sasha, do you ever see in a sefer they talk so much about Eretz Yisroel? Yeah. It's amazing, right? Yeah. Come on, it's just really amazing. Rav Shalom, do you ever see this before? Yeah. Everything is discussed at Eretz Yisroel. It's unbelievable. Shemisham Ika HaShefer Shel HaMozon V'Achila. Because we know that the bracha of all, from the entire world, is dependent on Eretz Yisroel. Chazal tell us that, right? The blessing of the entire world is dependent on Eretz Yisroel. Now, if the world would only know that, right? If the world would only know that their blessing is dependent on us here in this land. They don't know that. They think their blessing is based on their blessing. They have their own blessing. They can do their own thing. But no, all of their blessings of all the countries of the world, even the countries that don't like us. Oh, that's all the countries, right? Of course. Right, all the countries that don't like us. So they're also dependent on us. Kayadua b'chol ha'parnosa v'chol ha'shpois nimshochem rak me'eretz Yisrael. All parnosa, all hashpa, all bounty, all blessing comes from Eretz Yisrael. Well, let's understand it, right? So you have this week it's Parshas Bereishis. So we have what's called the Even Shasiyah, right? The Even Shasiyah is the founding rock that's found in the Kodesh Kodashim, right? In the Makam of the Kodesh Kodashim, and that's the rock that the rabbis teach us is everything came forth from that rock. That was the founding rock, and everything came forth from that rock. Right? And that rock is in Eretz Yisroel. That means everything that came from the world is from that rock, from that makam, that connection to Shemayim, right? We remember connecting the upper world to the lower world in that place, right? So that means that we can understand that everything is based on Eretz Yisroel, because that's where it started from. And the Shefa continues. You're always connected back to where you started. Right? That's why we're always connected up on high, because we came from up on high. Right? Where the world is connected back to the place where it started. Okay, okay. But that's what it's Ki kol ha'artzias tamsis Eretz Yisroel heim shoisen. They get a tamsis. They get a little. We get the main blessing, and they get the tamsis. They get the whatever the excess. They get the excess. Right? We discussed it. The way we understand. Oh, that chair's about to go. Oh no. When it makes that noise.
I double it up.
Oh, okay. Yeah. When they make that noise, yeah, be careful with them. Yeah. Okay. So we learned like this. Eretz Yisroel is like this. It's like this. You you're like a kiddush cup. You have a kiddush cup, and then you have a plate underneath it, right? Right. You have a kiddush cup and a plate. Eretz Yisroel is the kiddush cup. The rest of the world is the plate. The main, whatever goes over the kiddush cup, whatever goes over, goes into the plate. That's the tamsis. So all the blessing is really over here. But the problem is that we're not always doing what we're supposed to do. So therefore, our cup, so to say, has a hole in it. When you have a hole in the cup, so then too much goes out. It's really supposed to go over the top, but really it goes out from underneath. But we're all working on tshuva. We're all working on getting closer to Hashem. That's the way it's supposed to be over here. Okay? Jason, Misham, Ikir Kedushas Halechem, Ikol HaMitzvahs HaNehagos, Belechem Kigoin Truma Maisa, V'chala, Kulam Hei Mitzvahs HaTluyos Baretz. Right? So again, take Truma Maisa. You can't take Truma Maisa from any other country in the world, right? Only in Eretz Yisroel you take off Truma Maisa. Right, to take off Truma Gedola, right, to take off Ma'aser Rishon, right, to take off the Trumas HaMa'aser, right, all the beautiful mitzvahs that we have of Truma Ma'aser is only here in Eretz Yisroel. We only have it here. Ma'aser Ani, right, Ma'aser Ani, right, or you have Ma'aser Sheni, right, all these different mitzvahs, right, people don't even know, like Ma'aser Ani is on the 3rd and the 6th year, right? Ma'aser Sheni is 1, 2, 4, and 5, right? So it depends on that, right? When you're taking off your true Ma'aser, you have to know what year you're in, right? All right, whatever. Okay. The whole kedushas Eretz Yisroel mikudeshes mikol ha'artziyos and all the whole kedushas Yisroel mikudeshes mikol ha'artziyos. It's holier in Eretz Yisroel. It's holier than all the other lands. Everything. Eretz Yisroel is the headquarters of Kedusha of the world. The main point is the Iker Kedushas of Achila. Right? Because again, the mitzvahs that we have that are totally in Eretz Yisroel are pertaining to the field and the produce and the crops that we get of Eretz Yisroel, right? We take the Truma and the Ma'aser off, right? And then based on that, we're eating holy food. Right, because again, you take the truma and ma'aser off. You're taking off you're sanctifying the food. The same way when you make a blessing on the food, you're sanctifying the food. You're bringing Hashem into the food when you make the blessing. Right, so of course, when you take truma and ma'aser, you're doing the same thing. It's a beautiful, beautiful mitzvah to do. It's such a beautiful thing to take truma and ma'aser. Unbelievable. Kisha kol mitzvahs nehages bein be'eretz Yisroel. It's because all other mitzvahs like tefillin, mezuzah, put a makkah on your roof when you have to put a fence on your roof, right? All the mitzvahs that we have, the 600 regular other mitzvahs, you do all the mitzvahs anywhere you go. But there are specific mitzvahs that you can only do in Eretz Yisroel. This is what Moshe Rabbeinu was trying so hard to get to Eretz Yisroel, because he can only do certain mitzvahs. He wanted to do all the mitzvahs. But and Moshe, so Moshe Rabbeinu was considered a Kohen. He was also a Levi, right? He was a Kohen once. He did the Avodah. So he did those mitzvahs. He wanted to do all the 613 mitzvahs. He wanted to do all 613 mitzvahs. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. He wanted to do 613, and that's why he wanted to come into Eretz Yisroel. Rak mitzvahs hatliyas ba'aretz ein noyegin ela b'Eretz Yisroel. The mitzvahs that are dependent on the earth, on the land, are only here in Eretz Yisroel. Isn't that amazing? That's truly amazing. You think about it. You grow a tree. You have an orange tree, right? You can have an orange tree growing here in Israel. Baruch Hashem, clementines, right? We have plenty of them here. Baruch Hashem, or oranges, right? And you have them in Florida growing, right? Florida oranges, right? The ones over here, you take Truma Maisa, they're holy, and those are just oranges. They look the same, but they're not the same. The same way when someone sits down and they eat their meal, right? The guy's eating the meal, recognizing Hashem. Hashem, you gave me this meal. The other guy's just eating his meal. He's enjoying it. They look the same.
We also have, you're only allowed to, the fruit tree, you have to wait so many years before you can take
Arla, right. Arla, right. You have to grow.
Outside Israel, you don't have that then, right?
Arla, yeah. Arla you do have.
Oh, you do?
I believe they are nice to have Arla outside of Eretz Yisrael. I think so. What? But not the Truma and the Maisa. That's only that it's usher to eat. That you can't eat here, you can't eat there. In other words, it's not ready to eat. Right? The third year, the fourth year crop, right? And then the fifth year you can eat it already. All right, whatever. Okay. What? Umitzvahs hatliyas ba'aretz heim kedushas achila dahainu truma ma'isa. The whole idea of the truma and the ma'isa. Okay, so sanctity of eating begins here in Eretz Yisroel because we have the extra level of holiness that we can infuse into the food by performing the mitzvahs on the produce, on the crop, whatever the case is, right? So we take truma and maisa on everything over here, but certain things we don't make brachas on, right? Well, let's say you have let's say you had an herb, right? So an herb you don't eat by itself. So you'll take truma and maisa from it, but you'll make a blessing on that. Or you only make a blessing, let's say you have fruits or vegetables or things like that, then you can take the truma and maisa and make the blessing on it. But whatever, these are the laws of these are beautiful, beautiful laws to learn. Al ikar kol habrocha shetzrichin levarech al kol davar tchila v'sayf. Then therefore we make a blessing on everything before we eat it, and then when we finish eating, we make the bracha achrona. Right? We make the before bracha and we make the after bracha. Take your time, Mordechai. Shal yedei zeh mekachin es hamaychel sha'oichlin, and that's how we sanctify the food, and that's done anywhere. Right? Wherever you are, whatever country you're living in, you make your bracha on the food. You sanctify the food by making the bracha on the food. Sheiyah nizon misitra the kedusha, because you want to get your food and you want to be satiated. You want to have your vitality coming from the holiness of the food. You don't want it coming from the other side, from the sitra, the mice. Okay. And the whole idea of the bracha, the holiness in the food, comes from the bracha, which is connected to Eretz Yisroel. So now you understand. Okay, so here in Eretz Yisroel, we have a specific holiness that we have on the truma and the meiser, that we take the tithes. I think you say in English it's called tithes. Tithes. You take the tithes. If anyone doesn't know the word, right? You take the tithes on the produce, and by doing that, that's the sanctity. And there's another level of holiness that we have here. We make the bracha on the food as well. So we raise it up another level. Outside of Israel, they are connecting back to Israel by making the bracha on the food. but it doesn't have the level of kedusha from the truma. It doesn't have that, but it has, and it doesn't have. It wasn't grown in the land of Eretz Yisroel. You want to say something, David?
What if grain was imported into Israel from somewhere else?
No, it doesn't. It does no.
No, nothing.
It has to be grown over here.
The only thing that applies to grain that comes from Mitzvah is challah.
Yeah, you'll take challah, sure. We take challah anywhere in the world.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if you do it outside of Israel.
They do. They take challah. Sure, they take challah. Yeah, they take challah. They absolutely.
Even in America.
No, I don't know if they make a bracha. No bracha. They take challah. I don't know if they make a bracha.
They shouldn't forget.
Yeah, they take challah. I have to ask my wife. She does the challah. She'll know that. I'll get back to you on that one. Okay. But I believe you don't make a bracha outside of it. So he's right. Okay. He called brachas hanenin because anytime we make brachas nenin, brachas nenin means our blessings that we make for something that we're going to eat, that we're going to eat. Nenin, we're going to have enjoyment. We're going to enjoy the thing, right? Whether you're going to drink something or you're going to eat something, you're going to enjoy it. So you make a blessing before you eat. You partake in whatever you're going to be eating or drinking. You make the blessing first before you partake in it. The Lamda Rabbi Seinin Zuchan Levracha Mibirchas Hamazon Kamaisha Amru Rabbi Seinin Zuchan Levracha Hashta La'achrab Mivarech Lefanav Loi Kol Shekain. If you're going to make the bracha before, then you're not going to make a bracha afterwards, right? If you're making a blessing before, of course you're going to make one after. Ika birchas hamazon hu levarech Hashem yizbarach al shenasan lanu Eretz Yisroel. Al Eretz Taiva shenasan lach. Why are we saying the blessing in the benching? You keep talking about Eretz Yisroel in the blessing, right? In the benching, when you're saying the after the blessing, what do you call that? Grace? How do you say that in English? Grace after meal. Okay, there we go. Okay, grace. When you have your grace after meal, all the whole blessing that you're saying there is talking about Eretz Yisroel, praising Eretz Yisroel. You'll eat v'savata, you'll be satiated, uveirachta, and you'll bless es Hashem Elokecha al haaretz, on the land. Eretz Yisroel, the land, hatoiva shenosan lach, the good land that Hashem gave to us. Okay. V'adava temua. No, this is a wonder. Let's understand this. L'chayre moed ma inyan Eretz Yisroel lebirchas hamachal shachal. Hey. So what does Eretz Yisroel have to do with it? Okay, wait a second. The guy's living somewhere in America. He's living somewhere in England. He's living somewhere in Australia, South Africa, wherever they're living, right? Wherever it is, right? Canada, maybe, that forgotten place, whatever. Wherever they're living, right? So what do they have to do with Eretz Yisroel? Why in the blessing are they keep talking about Eretz Yisroel? Ma'anyin Eretz Yisroel lebirchas hamachal shachal ki lefi ha'aseichel ha'poshet ika ha'bracha hu levarech es Hashem al hamazon shenasan lanu. Really? Okay, really? No, when I'm blessing, you should really make the bracha on the food. What does that have to do with the land? You're eating food. Why do you have to talk about what does that do with the land? You understand the question?
Especially if you're eating it in Canada.
Or wherever you're eating it, right? Wherever.
On the shul, it's okay. If we're in the synagogue, it's okay.
It should have said, the Torah should have said, eat, be satiated, bless Hashem. Right? That on the food and the satiate and the machal and the mozon, right? And the, how do you say, what? Sustenance. The sustenance, shenasan la. Okay. Uma inyan beirachles Hashem Elokecha la'aretz v'achalta v'savata. What does it have to do with, we keep talking about the aretz, and why is that in the benching? Okay, if Hashem wrote in the Torah, why was that put into the benching? Right? Why was that put into the grace after meal? Okay. Ach, al pi. Mevoya Heitiv, Ki Be'emes Ikir HaMozain V'HaMachol Nimshach Rak Be'eretz Yisrael. Oh, because the whole benefit that the world has, that there is food in these other countries, wherever you may be found, is only there, that food is there because of Eretz Yisrael. You understand? That's what we're trying to learn out here. How it's really, everyone is dependent on Eretz Yisrael for all food, for all parnasa. Everything is dependent on Eretz Yisrael. Misham, Ikar Kedusha Sachila, Adam Sheches, Aidei Abracha, Ikar Kedusha Be'eretz Yisrael, because the main Kedusha is found in Eretz Yisrael. Isn't that wonderful? So now you understand it, right? Why are we talking about in the grace after meal? Why do we have to say of the Oretz? Oh, now we understand. It's not just the food. The whole premise that you have food, wherever you may be found, that you went to the store and you were able to buy what you're able to buy is only because of the benefit of Eretz Yisrael. Amazing, right? Really amazing. When you understand it, it's really, truly amazing. All blessing is from here. All blessing of the entire world comes from this little place. Amazing. It's truly amazing.
No wonder they hate it.
Wow. V'al kein kishoichlin tzrichin levarech es Hashem. And therefore, when you eat, you have to bless Hashem.
Because he gave us the land.
Yeah. No, but let's think about something. Well, let's think about something now. Now, in the world at large today, right, there's more food in the world today at large than there ever was. Would you say so? Right? All countries that are exporting and this and there's plenty of food. People in general don't have to go hungry.
Yeah, besides Africa.
What?
Besides Africa.
It's not distributed so well, but there's plenty of food.
But the food is there. There's a lot of food, whatever.
Food.
There's a lot of food. Now, let's think about it. But look, and there's more Jews now in Eretz Yisrael than there were in a long time. And there's a lot of produce and a lot of mitzvahs going on over here. That's why the world has so much more food now. When we were only a few people in Eretz Yisrael, the world didn't have that much food. That proves it.
And look how much food Gaza has now.
Who cares about them?
They're starving.
Yeah, they're starving. Okay.
Starving.
No, do you understand? I'm just showing you.
Yeah.
If you want to understand this, right? When there were a lot of Jews in Eretz Yisrael and things are going well here, it goes very well in the rest of the world as well. Wow. There's the proof.
Wow.
You like that idea?
It's amazing.
Unbelievable. It's really, it's based on what we're learning. And therefore when you eat, of course you bless Hashem. Right?
So if you want to end hunger, all the Jews should come to Israel.
There'll be more food. There'll be more food, right? More produce, more, right. Kidei lahamshich kedusha, in order to draw more holiness. You want to draw, when you make the blessing, you're drawing the holiness, right? When we said when we make the bracha ha'maitzi, what you're doing is you're drawing holiness into the bread. You're drawing the holiness, right? You're drawing from the upper world into this world. Into the physical thing. From the upper world, holiness comes from the upper world. You draw it from the upper world into the physical thing. It's wonderful.
It's changed the whole way I see food and eating.
Ala mazon she'achol kedei shehachiyus hanimshach hayedei amachol yeh nimshach misitru kedusha. Because we want to be satiated. We want to have our food coming from the side of holiness, not the other side. Not the other side. Therefore we bless Hashem al Eretz Yisroel, on the holy land of Israel. Well, look at that. Al Eretz Chemda Taiva Urachava, right? The land is very beloved, right? The land's a beloved land. Urachava, it's very expansive, right? That's a good word? Expansive.
Expensive too,
yeah. Expansive. Yeah. Well, expensive, listen, it's supply and demand, right? There's not that much land, so of course it's going to be expensive.
It's a lot of land.
No, but there's more food.
What?
It's a lot of land.
A lot of land. Okay. Well, it depends where you want to be. If you want to go in little, it depends where you want.
Still very expensive. It's still
Okay.
So ridiculous.
What?
Still everywhere.
Okay. Val Yedei Zeh Daika Mamshichin Kedushas Achila, and that's how you draw the holiness into the food that you're eating. Ki Ikar Kedusha Nimshach Misham. That's where the Kedusha comes from the blessing that we're connecting again the upper world to the lower world. Okay? Upirchas Hamazon, Lamdu Rabbi Seinu Zechan Levracha, Kol HaBrochos, Ki Kol HaBrochos Nimshachem Eretz Yisroel, because, so that's why in the benching, when the benching was established, and we said the first bracha of benching, who gave it that to us? Moshe Rabbeinu. Right? We said that's the chus of Moshe Rabbeinu, right? Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that, right? Everyone knows that Moshe Rabbeinu is the one that instituted benching, and it's a dairaisa, right? That's why if you ever came to a situation where you weren't sure if you benched, right? We know there's a klal of safek brachas lahakil, right? And then if anything that you're doing the rabbanan is always lahakil, but the darais is always lachumra.
I don't know what that.
I'll explain. If general blessings, okay, if you're not sure you made the blessing, you don't make it again,
Right.
because those are the rabbanan. The rabbis instituted those blessings, okay? But when you come to a situation of the grace after meal, that is a Torah edict. That's a Torah mitzvah. So now if you didn't know if you benched or not, you have to err on the side of caution and you bench again. You err on the side of caution, right? You understand? So you will bench again. But if you know you bench, you can't bench again. But if you're not sure if you bench, then you'll bench again. That's how important it is, because that's a daraisa. Okay? Because all blessing again comes from the Holy Land. That's why we even call it the Holy Land, right? Isn't that interesting? Everyone refers to Israel as the Holy Land.
Holy Land, right.
The Holy Land. Shesham Ikar Bracha v'Kedusha, that's the place that you have all blessing and all holiness. Ki Ikar Bracha Mevarach and Al Kol Davar. Because all of the blessings that we make on everything before we eat it, Hu Legale Shashem Yisbarach Baras Hadavar. I'm blessing it, and I'm saying, Hashem, you were the one that made this thing. It was you that did it. It didn't happen on its own. It was no Big Bang theory, chas v'shalom. It was you, Hashem, that made this thing, this specific thing that I'm about to eat. When we make the bracha, ha'maitzi lechem, and that's you are the one, Hashem, that brought this bread from this land. You are the one that did it, Hashem. Shakol niya b'vay, everything that came about because of your words. Bayri priya eitz, Hashem, you made the tree, the fruits of the tree. Now, once you establish, right, and you reveal that this thing that I'm about to eat I'm only eating it because Hashem created it. That in itself is showing the holiness and revealing the holiness of Eretz Yisroel, no matter where you are.
And I don't know if you're going to get there, but this also says the first.
Because the whole point of Eretz Yisrael comes from this. How do you like this? Come on, it's Parshas Bereshis, right?
Right.
Parshas Bereshis. Here we go. That you know, and you believe. Hashem created the world and everything at large. First Rashi in Chumash, right? Hey, this is the first Rashi. Look at the first Rashi in Chumash. The first Rashi in this week's Parsha. Guys, listen to this. Rashi brings this pasuk. Koyach masav higid liyamai laseis lehem nachlas goyim. Right, we learned this idea when it came to Kedusha's Beis HaMedrash, right? Right, we learned it, remember, Kinei Beis HaKnesses, right? The whole idea. Koyach masav higid liyamai, Rashi says over there that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is showing that He created the world. Koyach masav higid liyamai, I'm giving you the koyach of my maisim. He's telling us. He's giving us. You understand? He gave it to us. He gave us Eretz Yisroel. Isn't this amazing? Listen, it's amazing.
Is this saying that, because here it says he created it with his will and gave it to them. Is he talking about Israel and the Canaanites are in there?
Yeah, and then he took it from them and he gave it to us.
This
Yeah.
is the pasuk right here in Bereshit that we're learning today.
Bereshit, that's the first pasuk. Pasuk 1. Pasuk 1.
Wow.
Kamaisha Kasav Rashi ala pasuk Bereshis umuva b'divrei Rabbi Seinu Zechon Livracha. And we understand it from the teachings of the rabbis. He brings up Rabbi Yitzchak in the first right? Okay. And Likutey Moran in lesson 44, She'ikar Kedushas Eretz Yisroel, Ayidei She'yoidin She'Hashem is bara ha'olam u'malayai. The main thing is to know that Hashem was the one that created the world in large and every part of the world. K'maisha Perish Rashi Sham, V'hu bara u'v'rtzoynai nasna lahem, not lamehem, v'nasna lanu. Hashem gave it to them. Yes, Hashem gave the lands to the nations that were here. And even if the Palestinians were here, even if they were here, He gave it to us, and not to them. They got to get out of here. All of them. All of them. The Hamas guys and the Abbas and all of the trash. We got a clean house. Trash. They just trash. They would take out the garbage. They take out the garbage. Al kain al yedei habracha shemivorchin al kol davar shayedei zeh megalan shashem yizbarach boras hadavar hazeh. So when you make the blessing, you're revealing, Hashem, you're the one that made this. You're the one that made this, Hashem. We went picking to this. It was so beautiful. We went to this place on Chalamoid to pick fruits and things, right? So they had over there so many beautiful. We picked clementines and pomegranates, and they had carrots and carrots. We never picked carrots. I didn't even know that they can grow carrots in Eretz Yisroel, because carrots usually grow in swampy ground, right? They grow in the ground, yeah. But they were beautiful carrots. They were pulling them out of the ground. What?
You were in the south. You were in the south?
No, we went to Gimzu. We were in Gimzu, not in the south. But beautiful, I mean, really amazing.
I'm surprised that one of the biggest importers of carrots in Russia is Israel.
Mehmet?
Yeah.
The first one?
What, I mean, Russia doesn't grow carrots?
I don't know, but they buy a lot from Israel. Yeah.
It's fascinating. It's fascinating.
Carrots, like, okay, I understand avocado,
But carrots they can grow. They could definitely grow that in Russia.
Of course. But,
And there's no problem to grow carrots.
There's
They import carrots from Israel?
huh?
They import carrots from Israel?
Yeah.
Really?
They know all the blessing comes from Israel. Oh, it's beautiful. Through that you reveal the holiness of Eretz Yisroel. By you revealing that Hashem Yisbarach was the one that made it. And that's something so important. When you eat anything, think for a second, wow, Hashem, you're the one that made this. Hashem, you're the one that made this. That's what I'm saying. The blessing states, Hashem, you're the one that made this. It's you, Hashem. If we think that when we say the bracha, we have to just think about it.
And don't stuff your face with it. That's not holy way to eat.
Nimsa she'ika kedusha shemamshichin al kol davar machal ayedei habracha. So we draw the holiness for each and everything that we eat through the bracha. Hu bechinas kedusha Yisroel. That itself is the kedusha of Eretz Yisroel. So everyone is always connecting themselves to Eretz Yisroel, no matter where they are in the world, when they make the bracha. When you make your bracha on your food, you connect to Eretz Yisroel by making the bracha, because again, you're reminding yourself that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the entire world. He gave the Eretz Yisroel to those people. He took it from them and he gave it to us. You believe that? That's so nice, right? Kedusha Eretz Yisrael Shemisham Ika Kedusha VaBracha. That's where all the blessing comes from. V'al Kain Ha'ikahu Daike Birchas HaLechem. Therefore, the main blessing is the lechem. Again, why did we start off? We started off that the bracha of Hamaitzi Lechem in Aretz is such a choshev bracha. The Shulchan Aruch says that it patters, it absolves from making any other blessing during the meal, right? Except for wine, right?
Wine, yeah.
Right. Okay. Wait. No. Okay. Foods. Birchas halechem shu birchas hamaitzi shechashuva me'akol, because the bracha of hamaitzi lechem in haaretz, because it says haaretz, Eretz Yisroel. That's why it's the most beautiful blessing, because you're reminding yourself that all the holiness comes from Eretz Yisroel. V'gam tzrichin levarech ola birchas hamazon. And then when you finish, you make birchas hamazon. And what do you talk about? All these beautiful things that we say. Because the bread comes from the 5 different grains, right? Bread comes from 5 grains, right? Why do you make a hamaitzi on, right? Anything that was made from the 5 different grains, right? What are they? They have wheat, spelt, barley, rye, and oats, right? Those are the 5, right? Those are the 5 grains, right? So any time you made bread from any of those, right? But chita, we said, is the most important one, right? Because it's in the list of the list of the blessings, right? Right, in the list of the blessings, right? That's in Devarim 8, Pasuk 8, right? That's where you find that the Pasuk. Okay, so there you find it says it's Eretz. It says over there first Chita Soira, right? It's first says Chita, so that's the most important of the 5 grains. Shenishtabcha Bohem Eretz Yisroel. Eretz Yisroel is praised. Is praised for them. Misham Ikar Bracha. That's where the main bracha comes from. I mean, that is to me a beautiful lesson, and there's no one that loves Eretz Yisrael more than Rabbi Nassan and Rabbi Nachman. I mean, come on, it's amazing. But they're showing you that really everyone has to feel the same way, because otherwise, why it makes no sense if you don't understand this. Why are you talking about Eretz Yisrael in the benching? Why would you be mentioning Eretz Yisroel? It doesn't. It could have just said, what do you call it? It doesn't have to mention Eretz Yisroel. It could have just mentioned v'achalta v'savata v'rachta. Why is it the ala oretz atayva shenasalach? V'achalta v'savata v'rachta. But why you say ala oretz atayva? Because all of the blessing, whatever you ate, no matter where you are in the world, only came because of the blessing of Eretz Yisroel. I mean, to me, that's such a beautiful and important lesson, I think.
And it starts out with that in creation, in Bereshit.
Mm-hmm. Right, Bereshit, this week's parsha.
That's like,
it's
wow.
amazing. Yeah. We took koyach masav higid liyamay loses lenachlas goyim, to give us the nachla of the goyim, to give us the inheritance of the land. But this is what if we would only believe, if our government would only believe this. And they would get up there and they'd say, you're right. They had it. Hashem gave it to them. He took it away and he gave it to us. Now get out. You're right. It was your land. Okay, it was. He took it away from you. Now get out. It's ours now.
How many people know this anyway?
Everyone knows this. Everyone knows this. Everyone knows, but they don't believe it.
Everyone knows.
They know this, but they don't believe it.
But they don't understand how holy it is, though.
They don't understand. No. If they understood how holy it was, they couldn't give any land away, because they have no right to give it away. It's so holy.
Why should you give it away?
Yeah, of
They
course.
make baseball bats and hockey sticks out of trees.
Well, what they want to do is they want to give them a gold coin for the land, see?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay,
Wow.
so that is an amazing thing.
Wow.
I don't want to go to the next because this lesson was so amazing to understand this idea. Now we understand why the bracha of Hamaitzi is so important, because we say Hamaitzi lechem min haaretz, right? And because we mention Eretz Yisroel, and all the food comes from Eretz Yisroel, from the benefit of Eretz Yisroel, and therefore that's why all of the other things are absolved from making other blessings, because you already found Eretz Yisroel. But if you eat anything else, you have to tie it back, and therefore you make the thing to understand that Hashem was. It's just a beautiful understanding about the brachas that we make. Just to understand how beautiful all of the really that all blessing comes from Eretz Yisroel.
And it all goes back to that. Every time you add a Jew to Israel,
Exponential numbers,
which
yeah,
brings more
exponential.
blessing,
Right, he's
which
talking about the
brings more food in the world.
riboy batim, right? Every time you create those the exponential calculation, right? We did that one time, right? We did that.
Yeah, but then it makes more Jews here, which means there's more blessing coming from here, which means there's more food in the world.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We established that, right? There's more people here today, right? More Jews here today. More produce today in Eretz Yisroel. So therefore, since there's more here, it magnifies itself all throughout the entire world.
Where I grew up, farmers got rich by not growing anything.
Yeah.
Got rich.
Subsidies for that. Oh, of course, they got paid by the
They
government.
got paid by the government not to grow anything.
Why is that?
Because it reduces
To
demand.
control the supply.
Demand and supply.
Keep the prices up. It's called farm subsidies.
And they did that. But they did that in the time there weren't too many. How many years ago was that, David?
When I was a kid, 60s, 50s.
And how many Jews were living in Israel?
Not many.
They don't do that anymore.
I think they still do, but maybe not as much.
30 years ago, they said there was a surplus of tomatoes. They just took them and dumped them into the Mediterranean. Israel.
No, bad.
Israel did?
A surplus of tomatoes? Wow.
They
Wow.
said, well, we'll give it to the poor people.
No.
No?
Okay, that's again, they don't appreciate it. That's the whole problem. That's the whole, okay, but Amir Hashem, we're more people will learn this, more people will appreciate Eretz Yisroel, more people will appreciate the produce of Eretz Yisroel and everything else. Okay, so that's our lesson for today. Let's learn Halacha in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. You gotta go, Sasha? Okay. Be Matzliach.
Baruch Hashem.
And I hope your clients enjoy your work. Okay, we're learning Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. We're in Siman Chav Vav. We're learning the Dinei Kaddish Yosem. We're learning the laws of the Kaddish for the Yosem is the orphan Kaddish. Okay, huh? What? That's Zion? That's what we're up to today. Okay, there we go. That's Zion, which is 16. Okay, so whoever's following inside, it's 26, 16. Mishu Avel Alaviv V'gam Al Imay. If someone, Chas Shalom, is an Avel on his mother and father. Wow. Right? Whatever it could be. Wow. Maybe, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shul and Dekel, his mother died.
Shortly later, his father died.
3 months later, his father died. So he's like, he was davening Yom for a year and a half.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what is it when a child gets killed? How long do we say Kaddish for a child?
30 days.
And then we're done?
Yeah, that's 30 days. Yeah, okay. Okay. Umikol Mokaim Ein Loi Schus Yosef Betfilis V'Kadesh Mishar Avel. Oh, so you may have thought that, wait a second, this guy lost his mother and father. He lost two. He has two deceased. Right? So he should get all the Kaddish and he should be able to daven for the Yomid. No, he doesn't get more preference. He doesn't have a higher level of preference or priority than any of the other Avelim, any other mourners and their situation. Mishum the Zikaroim Echad Oila Lekan Velekan the Ayin Naidei Behuda Tinyana. Okay. So basically each one, what was he saying here, Shalom? That each one has to get their own each one has to be re-remembered. So everyone is just equally the same. And it's really interesting because when he's saying Kaddish, he really is supposed to think of the name that you're saying Kaddish. Now this poor guy has to have two names in mind when he says Kaddish, right?
Probably the same thing if both parents died together.
Yeah.
So then the yard site would be the same day also. So he comes to shul. No, I have yard site for two people.
No, he doesn't get no preferential treatment. No, interesting. Very, very interesting. Should we do one more? We have time? Can we do one more?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do Yud Zayin. Noigim she'ein oimrim Kaddish rak acher achad asa chodesh. We know that we only say the Kaddish for 11 months. We don't say the Kaddish for a full 12 months, right? You're in mourning for 12 months, but you don't say the Kaddish for 12 months. Because you don't want to be that your mother or father, chas v'shalom, was a rasha, a wicked person. Because he's going to explain. Okay. The mishpat shel rishayim hu shneim asar chodesh, because the judgment in Gehenna, in hell, up on high, right? The hell is 12 months for rishayim, for wicked ones. Wicked ones, it takes 12 months to cleanse them. It takes 12 months to do the cleaning process. You know, like sometimes you put things in the laundry machine and it takes, you need to do a short cycle, and then this one's 2 hours, right? Same idea. The neshama, how based on how defiled the neshama became in this world, is how much time it needs to be cleansed in the laundry process up in Gehenna. Okay, got it? Okay. She'ir meis derech mashal yud shvat. Let's say the parent died on Yud Shvat, right? On the 10th of the month of Shvat. Okay. Paisik laima tes teves. So he stops saying the Kaddish, tes teves, the next thing, which is 11 months before. Right before the 12th month, right? Ubeis teves, right? Ubeyud teves loy laima, but on the 10th of teves he doesn't say it. Okay, because the yard side is Yud Shvat, so Tevis is the month before Shvat. So you go and he does the day before because you don't want to do 12. You don't want to get into the 12th month. The ha have yoim echad kechodesh name asar, because one day is considered a whole month. So even if he said the Kaddish, I'll say Kaddish just one more day. No, don't say Kaddish one more day, because then it's as if you said it the whole month. And then what are you doing to your parent? Why are you doing that? Okay. The Yom Echad b'Chodesh Chashav Chodesh. Okay, what?
Is it okay to do one less day so you don't mess up and do it?
No. You do. You know what the day. You know the date, and you say today I'm going to finish saying Kaddish. By that mincha, he's finished saying Kaddish. That's it. Mincha, before the nightfall comes in, he says that finishes. That's the time. And then it would be compared as if he said it for the entire 12 months. We have the same idea, mixus ayom kikulei, right? We have an idea that you have a little bit of the day is like the whole day. So the same idea we're learning now, that even a little bit of the month goes for the entire month. Okay? Here's another important one. So now, when do you count this? From the time the body was buried. Remember, we learned how important it is that the bodies are buried. That's why we want our chatufim to come, the ones that are deceased, we want them back to bury them, so that way their neshamas can have a tikkun, right? With the tikkun for the deceased happens when the body is put into the ground. That's when the tikkun is. That's like in this week's parsha, right? HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, you came from the earth, you can go back to the earth. Right? The curse. Right? You came from the earth, you go back to the earth. The tikkun happens when the body is in the earth. She'im nikba yud aleph shvat. So let's say he died on Yud Shvat. He died on the 10th. But he was only buried on the 11th. Azai Paisik be Yud Shvat, so then he finishes saying Yud Shvat, because it doesn't go the day that he was deceased, it goes on the day that he was buried. You understand?
So we're not really counting 11 months then, because if I start...
No. The clock starts. The clock starts when the body is put into the ground.
Right.
Not at the
Not
time
day
of
of
the
death.
death. Not at the time of death. Got it? You understand the difference? Okay. Ki ha-mishpat einei maskil ad la'achar kura. Because the mishpat, right, this mishpat, this judgment that happens up on high only happens after the body is buried. That's what we were learning, remember? That's when the tikkun happens, because that's when the body can start getting its rectification. The neshama gets its rectification.
Well, this is I don't know what kind of question this is, but you have some of the soldiers who were buried under the rubble. I mean, is that considered?
That's not okay. Again, we're not paskening anything over here now. So again, this is when it goes to the ground. Okay. V'im ha'isa shona muberes. What happens now if it was a leap year? Let's say it was a leap year. Paisik tes ayud kislev. Right. V'im zehu paisik boy yesh loy kol hakadesh. What happened here? If it was a leap year, right? Paisik tes, he stops on tes, or yud, kislev, right? V'yoyim zehu paisik bay. That's the day that he stops. Yesh loy kol hakadeshim. And again, the day he finishes. Okay, here. Let's go with this. We said this idea. The day you finish saying Kaddish, or like a yard site, is a special day. Right? It's a special day. Why? Because we said the yard site, you can only have the day of the yard site. You don't do Kaddish the next day. So therefore, the yard site takes precedence even over someone that's sitting Shiva, we said. Because because the guy sitting Shiva can say Kaddish the next day. And the Shleishim guy can say Kaddish. The guy in the year can certainly say Kaddish. But the guy that's a yard site, he can only say that day. So therefore, he gets the preference. Right, now this guy also here, wait a second. This guy on the last day, he's supposed to say his Kaddish. Because he can't say it the next day, because if he does, that's a problem. It's like the whole month. So again, he gets the schus of saying the Kaddish, right? And the Amid also. It's not just the Kaddish, it'll be the Amid also. He can lead the community also. He gets the merit to do that.
So he gets it even over the guy who is having a yard site.
But he said, no, he says, wait, Rakle, yard site, Shayach Kaddish Echad. Now, this guy is there, and then there's a guy with a yard site. So now they're equal.
Right.
Now they're equal, because he can't say Kaddish the next day, and he can't say Kaddish the next day. So therefore, we'll give the yard site guy one Kaddish, and he gets the other Kaddish. He gets the other ones. V'chein leben shloishim, if someone is also in their shloishim, v'im yesh kama yard saitim, by b'nei shloishim. Let's say you have a lot of different people have a yard site, right? And this guy's in his shloshim. Nitcha hu mipneihem legamri, the guy that's in the shloshim. If there's too many guys with a kaddish that are yard site, so they push off the shloshim guy altogether, because the yard site takes precedence on that, and also for the Amid. Okay, Amishi Adea Ava V'imay Shahaya Rishoyim Miyoisin Shenidan Shneim also Chaydesh. But now what happens? This is a scary one. What happens?
Very interesting.
What?
It's very interesting.
What happens?
Yeah. Listen. What happens if a person knows? He knows his parents. They were not righteous. Not Torah righteous.
Not Torah righteous.
Right. I'm not saying they were bad people.
Right.
They didn't understand what Yom Kippur was. They didn't understand the mitzvah. There we go. He should say Kaddish the whole 12 months.
So if your parents didn't keep Shabbat,
Huh?
You have to make a distinction. There's like a teenager in Ishva and somebody.
You're right. Okay, then listen. There's an idea. No, there's an idea that if a person knows, and if that's the case, so maybe he'll do something different. He'll go to a different shul or something else, so that way people don't know. And then he'll say his Kaddish, whatever. There's different things he can do. But if he knows himself, he wants his parent to have the tikkun. right? He wants his parent to have the tikkun, right? He wanted it to be clean. Like the example I gave you with the laundry machine, right? If you put the thing, if it needs a certain amount of time, and you put it in a shorter cycle, it may not get clean, right? The neshama may not get clean in the 11 months. It may need the 12 months. So if he knows it's the 12 months, so then he should do the 12 months. It's a very interesting halacha.
If they don't keep Shabbos?
No, Rav Shalom said it's a very interesting idea that let's say the parents were a category of tinuk shenishba, means that they grew up and they had no idea. They didn't have any upbringing. They didn't know. If they didn't know, the question is, did they have an opportunity to learn, and they just didn't learn? I don't know. Like today, it's hard to say tinuk shenishba today because there's so much outreach wherever you go. There's so much outreach everywhere you go, right? You'll see these guys, the Chabad guys, they with their tefillin. You see all these different things. However, unless someone's living in a place that there's no. But then again, Chabad's everywhere. So I don't know.
No Coca-Cola or Chabad.
You what?
A place where there's no Coca-Cola or no...
No Chabad, yeah. All right, listen, okay.
But, really, if I'm saying Kaddish for a parent, I'm the only one who knows when the 11th or 12 months are up. No one's really tracking that, so I wouldn't really be embarrassed by kids continuing.
But maybe people do know. No, there's some people know. Oh, the burial was this day. This is your last day. You know? Oh, I have to continue to say it.
Continually in one shul, and, you know...
I have to continue to say. So that's okay. Anyway, listen, we should all hear good news, and everyone will make tshuva. We won't have any of these problems. And just realize everything we're eating has anything you're eating anywhere in the world, you're getting your benefit because of Eretz Yisroel. And that's so beautiful. Such a beautiful lesson. Okay, everyone have a wonderful day. We should all have a Besorah Tova.